的名字叫 Cathy. Yeah, being an immigrant from mainland China for over 20 years, I've been in media community for over 10 years. I really recognize how disconnected that the Chinese community is with the so-called mainstream community, that a lot of the resources and information are available which is not accessible to the Chinese community because of the language and the cultural difference.
So the best way to describe much of what the Small Business Development Centers are all about is what we tried to include in a very practical publication that we put out last year that we'll be putting out again. The name of our publication is Access. And that's really what we're all about, because we're trying to emphasize that we're trying to provide access of our small business owners and entrepreneurs to the information and resources that they can then succeed. From that, we hope that they will grow their businesses, be able to take care of their families, and develop a greater sense of community, which is a win-win for all concerned. Last year is a good example of our progress. Our program is very definitively measured. Last year, some 2,400 people attended our workshops. We had about 140 workshops in English, Spanish, and Mandarin. Thank goodness earlier this year we're also adding Vietnamese to that, again to serve the very diverse communities. Last year, 805 small businesses received the attention one-on-one so that we can develop their plans and gain access, or with them, gain access to the resources that they need. Increase in sales last year was over $13 million, and these are mom and pop shops. So for the small businesses, that's quite an upsurge. There's been documented a significant difference in the performance of small businesses that get services like this versus those that try to take on the world by themselves. Clearly, it's to everybody's advantage to work together to make everybody successful.
So a couple of years ago, I became a SBDC advisor because I would like to connect the Chinese community with the mainstream society and with all the resources and information available. So I'd like to become the bridge for SBDC and the Chinese community so that the very entrepreneur-spirited Chinese community can be better served and become more successful and become a better part of our whole community.